You won't need them right now because this is our live animal part of your presentation today. So for this entire time, you guys are going to be sitting on the floor, crisscross applesauce, just like the way you guys are doing right now. And in case you guys don't know my name, if you didn't have me this morning, my name is Miss Stephanie, and I was the guide for the other class. Did you guys have fun this morning?
Yes.
Excellent. So what this is going to be an extension of what you guys learned today. So what kinds of animals did you guys see on the trail when you were outside? Yeah.
A chipmunk.
Some chipmunks. What else did you see? Yeah. Turtles.
Squirrel.
Squirrels.
Stink bug.
Stink bug? Oh, cool, yeah. Stink bug.
Snake.
Snake? Yes.
Dragonfly.
So dragonflies?
Turtle.
Turtles.
Bees.
Bees, yes.
Skunk cabbage.
Skunk cabbage.
Inchworm.
Inchworms.
Frog.
Frogs.
Caterpillar.
Caterpillars.
Tadpole.
So tadpole? Cool. Antler, yeah. I showed you guys the antler.
A cockroach.
So a cockroach? Cool.
Woodpecker.
Woodpecker, yeah. Woodpecker holes, yeah.
Snapping turtle.
You saw a snapping turtle? Wow, cool.
Ants.
Ants. Yeah.
Frog.
Frogs.
Moth.
Moths.
Mushrooms.
Mushrooms.
Gray fox. Gray fox.
You saw a gray fox today?
You did?
That's okay. It's possible that we might have seen a gray fox today. I don't think we actually did see one today because they like to come out at dawn and dusk only. But the reason why I asked you about what animals you've seen today is because you guys are now going to get the opportunity to meet two of our live animals that we have here, but they can also live outside in the wild. What I have to show you this afternoon is a box turtle and our corn snake. Now, I know sometimes people can be a little bit nervous about getting up close and personal to an animal, especially snakes. Some people seem to be nervous about snakes, but that's okay. The purpose of this class is not to get you as close as you can to a snake, because I don't want to make you nervous. I understand, everybody has fears of an animal. Me personally, I'm a little bit afraid of bees. Does that mean I disrespect them? No. But, we all have things that we're a little bit scared of. But the purpose of this is to help you understand a little bit more about snakes if you're nervous about them, and we'll really understand they're not so bad. And none of the animals that I'm going to take out can hurt you in any way, because you will have the opportunity to touch them. Now, think about it. Do you think I would ever take out an animal that would hurt you?
No.
Do you think I would ever take out and pick up an animal that would hurt me?
No.
No, that just makes no sense. So you guys are going to get to learn more about these cool animals. These are the same kind of animals that if you were walking through the woods or look really carefully around where you live, you might see these outside too, bless you. So I'm going to ask that you guys stay sitting, and if you get really excited about these animals, cool, but I ask that you stay sitting and try to keep your voices at a minimum. You guys seem to be doing a really excellent job at that today. Keep it up. I would like a space this way.
Boys, come over here. Nassim, over here. Come over here. Come, Nassim. Oh, Nassim, I'm sorry. Over here. You guys okay there? You want to come here? It's cold.
So this is our box turtle. Did any of you learn about box turtles today?
Yeah.
What can you tell me about box turtle that you learned about today? Yeah.
Box turtles can close their shell to make it look like a box.
They can completely close their shell to look like a box. There are many types of turtles outside. A lot of you guys saw the painted turtles, or I showed it on my class, the painted turtle shell that I had in my bag. This looks nothing like a painted turtle shell. Her shell is more boxy. And her shell is a lot rounder than a painted turtle's because she's not a swimming turtle. A lot of people think that when they see a turtle, they think, ooh, it's a turtle, it must love to swim. Turtles must be living in water. Fluffy, that's her name, Fluffy. Is she fluffy? No. But do we have a weird sense of humor here? Yes. So, Fluffy is a land turtle. She likes to live on the forest floor and dig in the dirt. and she doesn't like to live near water. She only goes near water when she's thirsty. And yes, one of the characteristics of a snapping turtle is she's one of the few turtle species that, if she's scared, can completely close her shell. And if she closed it all the way, I would not be able to get in a toothpick. That's how tight she can close her shell. Can you guys tell me something else about turtles? Even if you don't know anything about box turtles. Can you tell me something that you know about turtles or turtle shells? Yeah.
I know that turtle shells are made out of bones.
Exactly. Turtle shells are made of bone. May I have a little lavender here, please? Just so I can walk through? I'd like you guys to keep this open, okay? Just so I can walk by and don't have to move you all the time. So this is what the turtle shell looks like without any of the colors on it.
Leave it open.
Now you can really see that it's made of bone. And it would probably look the same color as your bones if they were outside of your body. Now before I say anything else, now you guys can see her feet. And some of you guys might see that she's actually, it looks like she's swimming in midair. She's like, sometimes she goes like this, or she'll kick her feet out. She's not actually trying to swim. We do call it the fluffy swim though. But what she's actually trying to do when she does that, when you see that happen, it's because she's trying to feel the ground. Because I just picked her up and now she's floating in midair. And she was just sitting in a nice warm pile of dirt. So she's probably wondering, I was just on the ground, where am I now? I swear I was there a minute ago. She's trying to feel it out. If I picked you up off the ground and you were dangling in the air, you'd probably want to find the ground too. So that's what she's doing. That's a great question. I'm not going to put her down because she's not meant to be on a hard floor. Do you think there are hard floors out in the wild? No, there's just dirt. There might be sand or gravel, but not a hard floor. She's not meant to walk on one. But that's a very good question. We're going to talk about that a little bit later. Question. Can turtles leave their shell? Raise your hand if you think they can. Raise your hand if you think they cannot. Turtles cannot ever leave their shell. They grow with the shell that they were born with on their back. The reason why they cannot leave their shell is because this is attached to it. Yeah?
She showed us the turtle spine, and she said that they cannot leave their shell because if they can't leave their shell, they can't go back in.
That's right. They can't leave their shell because their spine is attached to it. Their spine is attached to their bodies. We can't leave our spine because it's attached to us. We can't get new bones, okay? A turtle, they have a spine too, and they're attached to it. They just happen to have a shell on their back as well. So their shell grows with them. So this is it without the colors, and that's their spine. By the way, do you know what it means for an animal to have a backbone? What animal is called? If an animal is what's it called? Yeah. Vertebrate, yes. So animals that have bones or that have a backbone are called vertebrates. Are we vertebrates? Yes. She is doing her swim. Yes, she's doing it. She's not actually swimming. She's really trying to find the ground. Because she's also looking around at you guys going, who are those loud, colorful people sitting around you wearing all these funky clothes and shoes, and they are definitely not turtles. So she's looking around, wondering what's going on. Now she's very used to me holding her, but still, it's probably really uncomfortable for her, to be held above the ground. But I'm making her as comfortable as I possibly can. Yep. She's kicking, because she thinks my hand is the ground. She's trying to get a hold of my hand, thinking that she can push off my hand and move.
And there's dirt in it.
Okay. Yep. Well, she was digging in the dirt. So, I introduced Fluffy. Fluffy is a girl turtle.
It looks like a boy that's cranky.
It looks like a boy that's cranky. She does look kind of cranky. You can see her eyes. She's kind of giving the attitude. Her eyes, kind of angry. Kind of like a bird. If you were to look up at the bald eagle, you can see the eyes. Bald eagles look angry too all the time. But they're not. But that's just the way she looks. The reason why I could tell that Fluffy is a girl and not a boy is because boy box turtles have brighter colors on their shell and eye than girls do. You can see in this picture here that boy box turtles have beautiful bright orange, yellow, and black colors on their shell. And look at that beautiful red eye. boy turtles have a big bright red eye.
It's like yellow and orange.
Yeah, she has kind of a dull orange eye. Yeah, so she's a lot more dull than the boy box turtle. Why do you think that is? Those of you guys in my class, remember my talk about why girl deer like boy deer? Well, if I was a girl turtle and I saw a boy turtle with a beautiful brightly colored shell, I think that's pretty good looking. So that is how box turtles find mates. If a girl turtle like Fluffy sees a hot turtle with a nice shell, well, that's how they get together. Yep. And now you can really see the differences between the two. See, she's a lot duller. Darker, yes. You can really see the difference here. Fluffy, you're going to get to touch her after I'm done telling you a little bit about her. She also has a story.
Alright guys, now you have to quiet down.
So Fluffy also has a story that comes with her, and it's not a very happy story, but it has a happy ending. So, first off, before I tell you her story, do any of you know what kind of an animal Fluffy is? She's not a bird. She's a special type of animal that has scaly skin. What is that called?
A mammal?
Not a mammal. We are mammals. Why are we mammals?
Yeah, because I don't know what that is.
Raise your hands and wait for your turn, please.
What?
We're mammals because when we're born, then we're not born in eggs, we're born
Live. Right? Yeah, we're born live. We have hair, and our moms give us milk. That's what makes us mammals. She is a different kind of animal. She's a reptile. You can think of any large reptilian animals that lived long ago that she might be related to.
Wait.
A what? I can't understand you. An adult turtle? Yeah, well, she's an adult turtle, but reptiles today, they're related to dinosaurs. Dinosaurs are reptiles as well. That was a good guess. They're related to dinosaurs, hands down real quick. So she's a reptile. What makes her a reptile is when you take a close look at her, you can see she has scaly skin. Her skin looks wet because she was just in the mud. But she has very scaly skin, kind of like you would imagine a dinosaur skin to look like. Yeah, she's dirty under her shell there. But she has nice scaly skin. Huh? Not yet, not yet. So before you guys touch her, I want to tell you her story.
Alright, let's sit, please.
Raise your hands if you can hear me.
Raise your hands if you can hear me, sir.
Raise your hands if you
You
can
can
hear me
hear
now.
you?
Raise your hands if you can hear me now. Okay. So, Fluffy actually has an interesting story. Like all of us, we have our story of how we got here, and how our lives are. She has a story too. Part of this presentation is talking about wild animals. Why wild animals should stay wild animals, because Fluffy lives in a cage here. Is she a wild animal?
No. Yes.
She was a wild animal a long time ago. When she was a baby turtle, a grown-up, not a kid, an adult, saw her on the side of the trail and said, "Ooh, she's very pretty. I think I'll take her home as a pet." Why do you think that's a bad idea? Yeah.
Because they might be poisoned or they could bite you.
Well, she can bite. Well, she don't really bite, but let's think about it this way. If I was to go to you, and I said, "You are so cute, I'm going to take you home with me and put you in my closet, and you live there forever and ever, and I'll feed you once in a while," do you think she would like that?
No.
No. First of all, she's not going to have enough space, because where is she living? My closet. Do you think Fluffy has as much space in that cage as she would if she was out in the wild? No, it's a very small space. So an adult took her out of nature and put her in a cage and brought her to his mother's house and said, "Here, Mom, I got you a turtle. Here's your wonderful pet." So this woman said, "Oh, great. Well, I've never had a turtle before, but I love walking on my hardwood floor." So she probably does too. And she put Fluffy down on her hardwood floor, and Fluffy walked on her hardwood floor. Then this woman said, "Well, what do I do? I don't know how to feed her. I've never had a turtle. But I used to have a cat. Maybe she likes cat food.
No.
Does that make any sense?
No.
But this one didn't know any better, so she fed Fluffy cat food. So Fluffy was eating cat food, walking on a hardwood floor. She also said, well, in the summertime, I like a nice, cool, dry apartment. Maybe she does too. So the apartment was very dry inside, the way it is in here. And Fluffy, her skin eventually got very dry. For 25 years, Fluffy lived in that apartment. And after 25 years, unfortunately, the old woman had passed away. And her son, the one who found the turtle, said, oh, great, now I have this turtle here, what do I do with it? Well, he gave us a call. And he said, I have a turtle here, would you like to keep it? It's great around people, it loves people. And we were like, turtles in the wild don't really like hanging around people. No wild animal does. But bring her in and bring a 6-foot cage. Well, he brought a 3-foot cage, which is very, very small. And he brought to us a very sick turtle. Because she was walking on hardwood floors for 25 years, her feet were misshapen. She had no claws. You guys can see when I bring her around that she has small claws on her feet. When she came to us, she had no claws. Her feet were misshapen and she couldn't walk well because the floor was so hard for her feet. If she lived outside, she would be living in the nice soft dirt and digging in it. She couldn't do that inside. She was also walking around a very dry apartment. And what happened was she became chronically dehydrated. What does it mean to be dehydrated?
When you're dehydrated, you don't get enough water.
That's right, she didn't have enough water. She didn't have enough water for 25 years. So she was very, very dehydrated. So what we did, we put her in a nice big cage with 6 inches of dirt and a big pool of water. She crawled into that pool of water and she sat in it for a month, absorbing the water through her skin. When she got out of the pool, she shed all of her dry skin off because her skin had died. She had to grow new skin underneath. So she's got enough water now. And as a turtle, outside, she doesn't move very quickly, so she likes to eat things that don't move very quickly. Things like mushrooms, maybe berries, maybe even some smaller insects. She loves to eat worms. That's her favorite kind of food. But the food is her cat food. And turtles don't have all our 32 teeth like we do. So we can chew using our different teeth. She has her beak, kind of like a bird. She doesn't have any teeth inside, but it kind of looks like a point. Let's together like a point. And her beak gets shorter when she chews on hard things. Well, cat food is soft, right? Well, her beak overgrew, and she couldn't eat well because her beak was too big over her mouth. So we had to take her to a special turtle doctor who shaved down the beak so it didn't hurt her, so she can actually eat food. And she was a very sick turtle, but we've had her for a few years now, and she's actually very healthy. Now, I did say that she shed all of her skin off and grew it back. There's one part of her skin that she did not shed. It's the old skin that's been there before. It's the top of her head. You see the top of her head looks white. That little crown, the reason why the top of her head looks white, that's all the old skin that hadn't shed off. It's just old and white and crusty.
Guys, Stephanie's coming around, so all of you will see it. Just wait, just wait.
A little white color on the top of her head. Now, the story has a happy ending. And yes, we'll cut her in a few minutes. The story has a happy ending. We take very good care of her. We feed her all the things she's supposed to eat. We give her fruits and vegetables, just like she would eat in the wild. We give her worms, which is her favorite kind of protein, because she can't eat grilled chicken. But, she's a good, healthy turtle now, and she's in much better shape. She's got 6 inches of dirt to dig all she wants in there. And, fortunately for her, she doesn't have to work to get her food, because in that cage there, we just give it to her. But if she was in the wild, she'd have to walk around a lot to find her own food. So, remember how I said that a turtle can put its entire body and close its shell so nothing can get inside? Well, she's kind of overweight because she doesn't have to find her own food. So when she pulls the front of her body in, her butt sticks out. So she's a little bit overweight, so she can't fit fully inside her shell. But she's doing good. She's doing much better. Don't tell her she's overweight. She's a self-conscious little girl, but she's doing pretty well. She's much, much healthier than when we found her. Now, she was in that apartment for 25 years. That's a long time, right? Imagine if you had a pet. How many of you guys had a pet at home? Like a cat or a dog or a bird? Maybe snakes? Okay. Now imagine cleaning up turtle poop for 25 years. Would you like that? No. How long do you think Fluffy can live in captivity? How long do you think she can live? How long do you think you'd have to clean up turtle poop if you had her as a pet?
107 years.
That's a wonderful guess. 100 years? 150? 100? Any more guesses? Yeah. 120? 20? 200? Wow.
30 years.
30? 130? She can live, yeah. 50 years? In the wild, she can live to be maybe about between 30 and 50 years. In captivity, she can live to be 80 to 100 years old. I will be old and gray, and I will still be cleaning up her turtle poop. So a turtle is not really a good idea to have as a pet, and absolutely not a good idea to take an animal out of the wild, because think about it. The same way you would want yourself taken out of your own home and put in a cage, it's not a good idea for a wild animal to be taken out of nature and put in a small cage in your house. They don't really make good pets. Anyway, do you think she loves me?
Yes.
She's probably indifferent about it. Do you think she wants to lick my face and wag her tail, you know, like a puppy whenever she sees me? No. Not really. She doesn't really give me much loving. She's perfectly fine by herself in the woods. So she's not really a good cuddly pet. But she's also a wild animal. Unfortunately, though, I can never release her. Because as a turtle that's been inside, she has bacteria on her now that if I work together to send her back outside, she can make other turtles sick. And I don't want to do that. Also, she hasn't found food for herself in over 25 years. If I let her out in the woods, you think she'll be able to find her food?
No.
No, she hasn't found it in 25 years. She doesn't know how anymore. So I would hunt her more if I let her out. So now we're going to have to care for her, you know, until we're all old and gray. But that's okay because you love her dearly. So, you are allowed to touch her, but you're going to stay sitting. I'm going to come around. But there's a very special way I want you to touch her. I want you guys to show me one finger. And I want you guys to practice on your arm, touching your arm very gently, almost so that you don't feel it at all. We're not going to grab her. We're not going to shake her. We're not going to poke her. Okay? We're just going to rub her very gently. Which part of the animal is the only part of the animal we are not going to touch? Mouth, head, yes. We're not going to touch her face. You can touch her shell. We're not going to touch her face because how do you think she would feel if we went to touch her face? She'll get scared. She'll go in her shell. And we don't want to scare her. We want to make her feel comfortable. You probably wouldn't feel comfortable either if I put my hand near your face. Okay? You probably wouldn't feel comfortable about that. So, we'll keep our horses down. I will pass her. I will bring her around. And after you touch her, please try not to touch her face because we'll be touching another animal and you won't put her face in between animals, okay? Alright. And if you don't want to touch her, you don't have to. You can take a look at her if you like. But I encourage you to experience this. And yes, you can touch her legs if you like.
Quiet down or you're going to scare Fluffy, please.
Did everybody get a chance? Yeah? All right. Stay seated where you are. You guys will sing about a fluffy.
Raise your hand.
I want you guys to really pay attention. I want you to stay seated and listen to what I have to say before I take her out. I understand that some people have a fear of snakes. But again, I would never take out anything that would hurt me or you. I don't want anything to happen to both you or the animal. So she's our corn snake, and I will take her out. If you're nervous about getting close to her, you don't have to. I'll always hold her at a distance from you, and you don't have to touch her if you don't want to. But I do encourage that you guys stay sitting and keep your voices low, because I don't want to scare her either, okay? We don't want to scare each other, so we'll all keep our voices low. She won't scream at you, and you won't scream at her.
So that means you're quiet. Quiet. Remember, keep your voices down. Very down.
This is Snuffles. Great question. Do you think I would take out a poisonous snake? No. Snakes actually, they're not poisonous. Poisonous is what happens if you eat something and it makes you sick. Venomous is what happens when the animal bites you and it makes you sick. She is Snuffles. She is a corn snake. She's not venomous. She doesn't even have any fangs. She has two little stubs for teeth. No, she doesn't bite. She only bites for food. Does she eat me? No. So she won't bite. So she's checking me out. She's checking you guys out. She's sitting around right now. Some of you guys might notice that she's sticking her tongue out at you. Is it because she's being rude? No. No. Why do you think she's doing that? She's smelling. We don't smell with our tongues, but she does. You guys can see that she has little holes in her nose and nostrils. She uses them only to breathe. She doesn't smell with them like we do too. Question? She doesn't make a hissing sound. Not all snakes actually do that. Only certain snakes do. But they can make a hissing sound. Huh? Does she tighten around my hand? She does. She actually is right now.
How does she do it?
Quiet down.
I will
If
answer
you
all
have
of
a
your
question,
questions.
raise your hand, but you need to be quiet.
Before I answer your question, I just want to tell you a little bit about her. She's a
Listen.
corn snake. Do you think that means she eats corn? No. What kinds of things do you think a snake might want to eat? What do you think? Yes. Huh? Yeah, rodents.
Raise your hand.
Maybe turtles, depending on the size of the turtle. Yeah. Mice. Rats, mice. Her favorite food is mice. Now, there's another reason why she's called a corn snake. Hands down real quick. She's called a corn snake, well, first of all, because she's the color of Indian corn. Beautiful color. Isn't she pretty? That's a lovely orange color. I'll tell you that in a second. But she's found in farmers' cornfields. That's also why she's called a corn snake. A lot of people have misinterpretations about snakes. They think once they see a snake, oh my God, it's a snake, it's venomous, it's going to bite me, kill it. Well, corn snakes are actually really beneficial because farmers, when they see a corn snake in their barn, they think, ooh, why not have a corn snake? That's a good thing. Why do you think it's a good thing for a corn snake to be in a barn with corn? What does she eat? She eats mice. What do mice eat? She's holding on to me. How does she do that with no arms or no legs? Her body is a giant muscle. She actually had, yep, she's straightening everything out. She can hold herself up just like that. And her body is a muscle. Because she doesn't have to bite her food to kill it, she's what's called a constrictor. What do constrictors do? Do you guys know? Have you heard that word before? You might have it associated with anacondas. They do the same thing. What does a constrictor do? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
I had a different question.
You got a different question? What is your question?
It was that's the same thing as a reptile, like.
Yes, she is a reptile as well. So what does a constrictor do? Yeah.
They squeeze the place of dust until they can breathe, and then.
Yes, they squeeze their food until it stops breathing. So she squeezes her food. She's squeezing me too. Is it because she's trying to kill my hand?
No.
She knows that my hand is not a mouse. So she's not interested in my hand for food at all. Let me take off my necklace. The reason why I take off my necklace is because as a reptile, she likes warm places, and the warmth from other things like the sun or different places, they can help her metabolism. She's what's called cold-blooded, which means she needs other warm things to help her stay warm. So if she finds a place on my body that's warm, she'll try to go there. For example, she's a big fan of armpits. Sometimes she'll try to go up my sleeve in my armpit. What she's going to try to do right now, if I don't stop her real quick, she's going to try to go behind my back and up my hair. I don't know where she is right now. She's down my back. She's also a big fan of belt loops. So she's doing that. She's also a big fan of belt loops. Why is she a big fan of belt loops? Because she likes staying in places where we can't move her. Because she wants to, be safe in one place. And because she's a muscle, she can stiffen her body up and stay in one place that she chooses. So it's really tough to get her out of belt loops. My boss had this happen to her. She was holding her one day, and she didn't know that Snuffles was going behind her and hiding in her belt loop. She got stuck there for a while. And it's very hard to pull a snake out of your back belt loop because you can't see it. And she's about handcuffed my hands together, so I'm just going to hold her out like this. But she's a very nice snake. She is what's called an endangered species. Do any of you guys know what being an endangered species means? Who was not in the class that was with me? Yes?
It means that there is very little amount of that animal, and it's being killed.
Yes, well it means that there's not a lot of that kind of animal out in the wild. It could be because they're being killed, but she's endangered for a very special reason, and it's not because people are trying to kill her. What do you think is the main reason why corn snakes are not found in the wild anymore? I'll give you a hint. It's because she's beautiful and doesn't bite. Huh? You have a different question? Well, see if we can answer mine, and then I'll answer your question, okay? Why do you think she's not very found in the wild much?
Because people go in the wild and they see the snake and then they choose it as a pet.
Yeah. In New Jersey, there are more corn snakes as pets than there are in the wild. Does that make any sense?
No.
Absolutely not. And she's like Fluffy. In the wild, she lived by herself. She doesn't need anybody to keep her company. So do you think she really loves me?
No.
Not really. She probably appreciates that I feed her. But she doesn't love me. She doesn't love me like your dog loves you or a cat loves you. So she would much rather be alone. But that's the main reason why she's endangered. And also, you have a question? What was your question? It does a little bit, yeah. It does a little bit when she sticks her thumb out. Yeah. Question?
Can she walk on hardwood?
Great question. She can be on a hardwood floor. I don't want to do that because it's not her habitat, and I don't want to let her loose around you guys. I want to hold her, so you can see her, because if I let her go on the floor, I don't know where she's going to want to go.
She doesn't get out of that. Right.
She can squeeze herself into pretty tight places, like belt loops, okay? That's why I got to be careful where I hold her, because what will also happen, too, is she loves hair. Like, not her, like, she doesn't have hair. My hair, like, if I was to let her go around my shoulders, the hair is warm, too. Up underneath my ponytail, it's kind of warm in there. what she has done to my boss is she has gone through her ponytail up the top, and those are the snake scopes sometimes on the top of her head. She'll just look around. It's true. I've seen this happen. Yeah, she's a pretty crafty critter. She also does something really cool that reptiles do. She can shed her skin completely off. Mind if I pass through? And I want to show you something. She sheds about once a month. Why do you think a snake sheds its skin? They're not calling me wild. Yes. Yeah.
They shed their skin because the old skin because they're growing after the old skin, so they need to get the old skin out.
That's right. She needs to grow. And in order for her to grow, she needs to shed her old skin. This is her skin. She shed this maybe last month. This is her skin.
It looks like plastic.
It does look like plastic. It's very, very dry because she's a reptile. She doesn't have slimy skin. And she sheds it off in order to... She sheds it off in order to grow. Question for you guys. Do you think people shed their skin too? Raise your hand if you think they do. Raise your hand if you think we don't. We do.
Yes.
We shed skin too. Do we shed it like a snake? Absolutely not. It would be a medical emergency if your parents saw you when you got out of the shower and you shed all your skin off. You would have to be taken to the emergency room pretty quickly. But we do shed our skin. How many of you guys have ever gotten a cut before? And then you have a scab. How many of you have ever picked a scab? Come on, be honest. I do it all the time too. And then you pick it some more. And then one day, the scab is gone. You can't pick anything anymore. The reason why that happens is because our skin is in layers. And when we get a scab, the reason why it scabs up and dries is because that skin dies. When you scrape it off, the dead skin comes off. But you don't just lose your skin. You don't just have a hole in your skin from wherever you get a cut. Your new skin grows back under it. Well, that's us shedding our skin. We shed it in little pieces. How many of you guys ever heard of the word dandruff? And if you scratch your head in the middle of winter when your head's really dry, you see the little white flakes come out of your skin? That's your dead skin. You're shedding your skin. We just don't do it all in one piece, like a snake does. That would be pretty weird. But she's a giant muscle. You can see she's still trying to find her way around. She's trying to figure out what is going on. And you guys can see the way she's twisting and turning around my hand without me helping her out. She's able to do that because she has a very flexible spine. And that's a backbone. We have about 26 bones in our backbone. How many do you think she has in her backbone? Yeah.
Raise your hand.
150? That's a good guess. What do you think? One backbone. Okay, one bone and backbone. 36?
About 60.
60? What do you think? 6? 100? 130? Yeah, just a second when we finish this, okay? You have a question? Just a second. How many bones do we think she has in her spine? Yeah. 30? 40? What do you think? 100? 0. She's got bones in her backbone. One more guess, yeah. 120? She can have up to 400 bones in her backbone. 400. That's how she is so flexible. So she has a story too. Before we go, she's got a story, and her story is a little bit different from Fluffy's. She was never in the wild. She was born in captivity. Her parents, however, were taken from the wild. And what happened was, another adult found her parents and went, ooh, 2 snakes. I've always wanted snakes. I'll take them home. Well, wouldn't you know it, 1 snake was a boy, 1 snake was a girl, and soon he had 11 corn snakes. Put 2 and 2 together. So, he had 11 corn snakes, and he thought, how am I going to do this? I can't take care of 11 corn snakes. So he called a special person who still lives in New Jersey today. His name is Bill Rosenberg. He rescues exotic animals that people don't want as pets anymore. And he has about 300 of these animals in his house. He takes care of them. He has a special license to do that. He has animals that people don't want anymore, like monitor lizards, Nile crocodiles, anacondas. He has them all in his house, and he takes care of them. And Bill told this man, I absolutely do want the snakes, and I want the parents too. And then you're coming with me to the police station. The reason why is because it is illegal to take you out of the wild in New Jersey, because they're an endangered species. It is illegal to take corn snakes out of the wild in New Jersey. That's not really tight, it's just enough to hold onto my hand. She's bending around me, that's why my fingers are kind of bent weird, because she's holding my fingers different directions. She's not squeezing my hand out. So, she's doing okay. So, she can live up to 23 years here, but we think she's about 5 to 7 years old. And I introduced her as a girl. The reason why I know she's a girl is because a couple months ago, she laid eggs for the first time. And there are no babies in it because she has no boyfriend. So she laid sterile eggs. You guys like eggs at home, like scrambled eggs? Well, those eggs don't have a baby chick in them, right? Well, so she lays the same kind of eggs. They have no baby snake inside. These are actual eggs that she laid. She laid 20 of them. Nope, not gonna eat that. Nope. Snake eggs are not edible. They're real, they're too small to eat anyway. These are her eggs that she laid a couple months ago. They do. They're actually very soft. They're not hard like chicken eggs at all. Nope, there's no baby snakes inside. Alright. So, I will give you the opportunity to touch her. If you're nervous about it, you don't have to touch her if you don't want to. I don't want to make you uncomfortable at all. However, if you do touch her, again, what is the only part of the animal you will not touch? Her head. The head. And now, if you do touch her head, she may bite, but I don't think she will because she only bites for food. She has never bitten me or anyone else before. So, if you touch her body, she'll be fine. And you'll be fine too. She's just going to go around smelling my arm, looking for my armpit, finding a warm place. Okay? So you're going to touch her with one finger, very, very gently. Then after you're done, if one of your teachers could come by, there's a bottle of Purell there that you can get your hands washed after you touch these animals. So that way your hands are on a journey, okay?
There's another animal?
Nope, we're done after this. We're not going to take that out. It's wet? No.
Feels wet, Tiana, this one. Don't worry, you're gonna get a chance, guys. Wait, come here, sit down. She's gonna come around. Just sit. Everyone's gonna get a chance. Sit down and wait. You don't want to touch this one, you have to touch it. And Chris goes out the door. Guys, you don't want to scare her while we're doing that, right? Over. That's right.
is it instinctive to take a snake out from the blind?
I don't know. Some people think that if an animal is beautiful, they want to take it out of the wild and keep it for themselves. The same thing if you see a toy that you like in the store, you instinctively want to keep it for yourself because it's a good thing. Okay? Because everything that seems pretty, you know, we want to have.
When you touch your wife, do you feel like she's red?
I can't go down. What's your hat? What's your
Raise your hands if you can hear me. I'm going to put her back. I want to thank you guys for being very good. You were really one of the most excellent groups we've ever worked with. So I want to thank you for that. I'm going to give an activity sheet to your teachers that they can give to you as you guys are leaving, so you can take it back home with you. And I'm going to put her back so you guys could say goodbye to Snuffles. And I would like you guys to come back and visit us one day because we're open all year long and you don't even have to come with a group. You can come with your family if you want. And to walk the trails, it's completely free. So you guys can come back whenever you want. We'd love to have you back. And I'm sure she would too.
Okay, boys and girls, say thank you to the staff.
So